I'd like to introduce the newest member of the In the Bush family. Enter the Durango. Pretty excited. This opens up a lot of camping possibilities, a lot of outdoor stuff throughout the winter for me. I needed a four-wheel drive vehicle really bad living out here in the country, and I needed to be able to get back to my cabin and whatnot this winter. With the Durango, that should be possible. Today, we're gonna do some overland camping with the Durango. I'm not even sure where we're going yet. I'm gonna go over to another farm and I'm gonna check it out. There's a few spots that I can think of that I'd like to try, but I don't know. We're just flying blind. It's a beautiful fall day and we're just gonna get out and just enjoy it. Well, I had to rearrange things just a little bit just to get them perfect. My OCD kicks in. Camp is set now. We're good to go. Step one was done. You know what that means? Time for step two. Ooh! This is a very good brew. Henry's Golden. It's a farmhouse ale. It's got kind of a Belgian-y yeast strain, and this is by Parkside Brewing Company in good old Burlington, Iowa, a local brew. I think it's awesome. Drinking local craft beer is where it's at, and I'm going to start brewing a little bit more, mainly low ABV kind of stuff, but I'm really kind of getting into brewing again. And I'm getting excited about it, but I'm going to do lower ABV type stuff just so I can keep the unhealthiness to a minimum. But there's nothing better than consuming locally grown food, locally raised meat, and locally brewed beer. Well, the point of today is to just enjoy this beautiful October weather. The leaves are starting to turn and they're very beautiful. So I'm going to take my camera and try to get a few scenic calendar style pictures. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a hike. Camp is set. There's no more work that needs to be done other than gathering firewood. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is try to gather some firewood, and then I'm going to go on a little hike and see if I can get some good pictures. Okay. So using some natural cordage we found in the woods, some pieces of vinage here, I'm going to make a simple tripod. Oh yeah, here we go. Perfect. Just going to wrap it around a few times. No frappings, no lashings. Just simply wrapping it around. And just going to do overhand knots. 1, 2, a square knot. Boom. We've got a tripod. There we go. Now I won't need a tripod tonight because I'm simply going to cook in the Dutch oven tonight. But I might want some coffee or tea in the morning. Actually, I didn't bring coffee, but I brought tea. So we're going to have some breakfast tea in the morning. We'll use our tripod then. Natural cordage tripod. And what did that take me? 3 minutes maybe? Well, I'm just sitting here enjoying the fire, having some chips and salsa, just enjoying this beautiful night. The moon is almost full. It'll be full in a few days. It's just gorgeous. Temperatures in the 50s. It's supposed to get down in the 40s tonight, so not bad at all. Hoodie weather, as I say. I'm just waiting for some coals to get a really good bed of coals so I can get the Dutch oven on the fire. And tonight we're going to be cooking some a zucchini casserole. I have lots of zucchinis from my garden this year, so I brought 3 or 4 zucchinis with me, and we're going to slice them nice and thin and layer them in the Dutch oven with some homemade tomato sauce from my garden and some cheese. I got some smoked cheese that I smoked for my Oktoberfest, and it's really, really good. So I'm going to make like basically a pizza out of zucchini. My mom does that a lot. It's really good, zucchini casserole. But I went for about a 2.5-hour hike today. I really saw some neat stuff. I hiked around this property. We're at an undisclosed location that is not the farm where I normally do this. We're at a place that we like to call the Albert's Place. This opens up a whole new can of worms for me. This place has some camping options on it. So a little more bushcraft or overland style probably. Be probably camping here in the future, some. I went around the property and found at least 2 really good campsite areas, really good ideas, and then bushcraft ideas are endless here. So yeah, got a good little hike in, and I also took some pictures with my new camera. I am impressed with the camera so far. It takes really good photos, and it takes decent video. I'm still playing around with the exposure and all that stuff, still trying to figure it all out, but it does work. I haven't done anything crazy with it yet. I just pretty much try to set it on auto and let it go, but I'm still learning it. I bumped the button earlier and everything was out of focus, so I apologize. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna enjoy this step 2, these chips and salsa, and then pretty soon we're gonna get to cooking. These chips are stale. It just ruins it. totally chow time. Ah, this is perfect. Perfect. Got some nice browning of the cheese on top. Got some of the moisture cooked out of it. Gonna throw on a little Parmesan cheese. And let's give it a try. Let's see if this is worth a darn. Oh man. I didn't bring any plates or anything because I just figured I'll eat it right out of here. And I figure I'll eat the whole thing because zucchini doesn't cook down to much. Although I think there's about a pound of cheese in here. So I used ham as my pizza topping. Oh, this is delicious. This is delicious. I used my Roma tomatoes out of my garden to make a tomato sauce. And brought that along with me. Zucchini out of my garden. Some ham and some of my smoked cheese that I smoked for Oktoberfest. This is absolutely an easy and good camp meal, and low carb too, getting the carbohydrates from the brews. Oh yeah. Well, this ain't gonna last long. If you excuse me, I got some face stuffing to do. Well, that didn't suck. That was an excellent camp meal. Great camp meal. Just slice some zucchini, layer it with some tomato sauce and some mozzarella cheese. Put your favorite topping on, pepperoni, Canadian bacon, sausage, whatever you want, and just make it kind of like a pizza. And then put the coals on top, I used ham because that's what I had in the fridge. But then put the coals on top and you've got a ready-made camp meal. That was absolutely delicious. And one of the things I like about it is it's a one-pot dinner. I like to make one-pot meals for camping instead of worrying about, are we going to have potatoes? Are we going to have a meat and then a side and then a fruit and a vegetable and all that stuff? It's really easy to just do one skillet kind of dinners when you're out camping. But it is just an absolutely beautiful night. It's crystal clear. The moon is not quite full. And it's probably about 48 degrees right now. But it's just going to be a great night. I'll be roasty toasty warm inside the Durango. It'll be perfect. Oh, this is great. Alright. Well, I'm crawled into the Durango and I'm pretty cozy and pretty comfortable. I cracked a window just a little bit just to keep it from fogging up in here and getting too much condensation, but I really dig this. And if I want lights to come on, I simply crack the door and shut the door tight and the lights go off. So pretty simple. Got the EcoFlow here, got a fan, charging my phone, my headlamp, that kind of stuff. It's pretty comfortable. The way the seats fold down in this Durango, you're elevated at an angle. So I actually parked the Durango kind of sort of downhill to make up the difference, to kind of flatten it out. I actually prefer to sleep with about a 6-inch incline. My bed at home has a bit of an incline. I have acid reflux, and so by sleeping at a bit of an incline, that really helps with acid reflux. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think, yeah, it's just totally comfortable, and I'm ready to hit the hay. So I will see you all in the morning. Well, just woke up, and I had a pretty great night's sleep. I slept quite well. Really surprised. I didn't know how this Durango was going to be. I didn't know if the seats folded down were going to make the bed lumpy. I didn't know how the sun beating in was going to affect me. No, I'm just fine. I stayed in the shade most of the morning anyway because of the trees. And I just slept like a baby. I fell asleep. Again, just like the last camp out, I actually fell asleep early. I've got a mosquito bite on me. So they're still out, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Anyhow, I slept good. Let's get this day started. I'm going to show you all a really cool pot hanging trick that I learned. And it's pretty simple. You just have to make a loop in one end of your cordage that you're going to hang your pot in. I used a bowline knot, and I just made a little loop about that big. Okay? So go ahead and mount it on your tripod. Put it down about where you think the lowest will be. Don't burn it in the fire. And I've just got some excess here that I'll set on top. Okay. Now, with the looped end, run it through the handle of your pot, the whole string, like that. And now, bring the loop up and feed the string through the loop, the main string through the loop, and then put a toggle in it. Now, you can raise and lower your pot by simply moving the toggle up or down. And to move the pot up, you just move the toggle up. It works pretty good. To lower it, you just push the toggle down. And you've got a pot hanging system now that raises and lowers. And to take it apart, you just pull the toggle out. Well, some good old breakfast tea. I've been kind of getting away from coffee a little bit. My craving for coffee kind of comes and goes. I actually didn't bring this stuff with me for coffee, but I woke up kind of craving coffee, but I did bring some tea. So, and breakfast tea at that. But no, I haven't been drinking coffee every day. Some days I'm just not in the mood for it. I just get sick of it. Other days I wake up just dying for a coffee. So it just kind of depends. I'm actually going to have a buddy of mine come out and we're going to do some roasting some coffee beans right over the fire. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, so recap on this camp out. This was an Overland style camp out, and I just slept in the back of the Durango, folded the seats down. It worked perfect. I slept really well. I feel pretty darn good today, and that's awesome. It's always awesome when I come back from a camp out and I actually feel good. Stayed plenty warm. It worked out great. Had a little fire and did our supper in the Dutch oven last night. Turned out great, the zucchini casserole. And we just sipped on a few step twos. I went on a hike and I took some pictures and just enjoyed the scenery. I pinpointed a couple campsites. Anyway, all in all, a successful camp out. And what's great about this overlanding is everything fits in the back of the Durango, so teardown should be a breeze. So it makes it for if you don't have a lot of time to prepare for a camp out, like a couple days ahead, you can just get up the day of, throw everything back in the back of the Durango and go. So overlanding, I can see where its appeal comes from. I can see where people get into it. One question that I'm sure might be coming to some people's minds, I want to make sure and put them at ease. I'm not getting rid of the Vamper. The Vamper is going nowhere. Either it or me is going to die before I get rid of that thing. The Vamper is like almost sentimental value at this point. I really just, I don't have the heart to get rid of it. I guess unless it just completely quits running. It's not going anywhere as long as it runs and drives. I'll be using it to camp because it is still the most awesome camping machine that I have. So this thing's great, but obviously you don't have the amenities that you have with the Vamper. But this thing has four-wheel drive, so it makes it possible for me to camp in a lot more situations, and I'm pretty excited about that. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and as always, we'll see you next time in the bush.